Hello, and welcome back to another me reading The Wizard's Companion. We have a lot to catch up on. A ton of stuff has happened, and we've acquired a bunch of new pages and seen a bunch of new things since the last time I filmed one of these. So, as you can see, we've tamed 37 species, which is crazy because I catch them just out of instinct, so I don't even really know what I have. And then we have defeated 87 species. So our first new creature here is the cat purse. He'll help himself to anything not nailed down. But stroke his head and he'll give it right back. He's obviously related to the purloiner. So I don't even remember fighting one of these. I guess we just fought one of these. Skull Mountain. It says I defeated one of these. I do not remember. I don't remember much of a lot of stuff, but. And we have Puss in Boots. All his fancy clothes and luxurious accessories were worn by risking life and limb in countless deadly duels. So, here we have the Stabber, not to be confused with the Jabber. The Stabber, a fun-loving, spear-wielding creature whose main interests are practical jokes and sharp sticks. I very much like this creature. Barbarian, which I believe is the second evolution for bartender. Its highly developed rear legs allow it to fling itself at any intruder who ventures into its territory. We have the crashing boar. When faced with anyone unfamiliar, it tends to charge first and ask questions later. Yeah, this is like one of the last creatures I just fought because we're in Hamlin now. And a ham. Then we have metamorphosed our. I forgot what I named this thing. I always forget this thing's name, but it's one of our first familiars. It's a dumble lemur now. This furry-faced fellow clasps banana tightly in its tail at all times. It claims it's for emergencies. Of course. I too like to keep a snack with me. You see, as he's aged, he's gone more intelligent. Here we have a catadolescent. When this creature isn't assailing enemies with jets of cold water, it likes nothing more than bathing in the sea as the sun sets. Honestly, a jet of cold water would be great right now. It's hot. Oh, did I mention I have an ice pack on my head? Yes, it's hot. And I have to have the windows closed to properly do these. Because it's loud outside. Up next we have a splisher. This creature likes to live with his pals in quiet spots, and is so relaxed that it is liable to fall asleep at any moment. Very nice. At varying goals. Have a hooray. Though it appears mild-mannered, this creature is willing and able to leap out of the water to strike foes. Up next is Sparky. The coil it carries unleashes electrical blasts. Though it tries to direct them at foes, it has been known to shock itself. Now, this has... I don't know if that's a mechanic, but like it kind of gives me machine vibes, even though it's clearly a fish. So maybe not. Oh, it says it's aquatica, but I wonder if like they can be cross species, because we just learned about the automata, which are like mechanical creatures. So I don't know if they're gonna be. And we have a mohawk. It attacks by waving its razor sharp coxcomb, and is relentless when in pursuit of prey. Then we have a wombat. Though it generally prefers to keep to the dark nooks it calls home, it will rush to the rescue if it senses its allies are in danger. Hey, that's cool. We got a loyal one here. Kind of goofy, but loyal. And we have a wishing wombat. It's always ready to help its comrades out, using its wings to whip up powerful gales. Very, very ferocious. Up next we have the Toohoo. Its heart-shaped face has turned this creature into a symbol of peace, love, and harmony. Oh, that's cute. I guess it's heart-shaped. Up next we have Spiked Tyke. It knows the forest like the back of its hand, but is all at sea. It knows the forest like the back of its hand, but is all at sea outside its leafy homeland. But is all at sea outside its leafy homeland. What? Here we have Dinky. Born away from a house filled with happy memories, he always brings good fortune to the homes he visits. What is this? Born from the key of a house filled with happy memories. Why do I not remember this at all? Okay, so this is actually one of my new favorite ones. This is the Frog Cog. If this cog-like creature spots an interesting machine, it's liable to crank it into motion. I just really like the design. I think it's like pretty. Like, I don't know. I enjoy it. And I did capture one, so I'm really happy about that. We have Tin Man. Its metallic body makes a dreadful racket when it walks, so we can be heard coming a mile off. Oh yeah! We just came across these. They're pretty loud when like walking across the field before you interact with them. Here we have Sponge Bud. Its petal possess healing properties and seem to suck the colors from the world around it. Interesting. Another new one is Trapper Snapper. It conceals itself in shrubland before clapping its hands together to trap unsuspecting prey. Oh, really cool. Actually, like, actual Venus flytraps, though, like, they scare me. I do not like how they look. The only Venus flytrap that I can, like, tolerate is Audrey, too. Here we have the Airhead. The large cloud attached to its head makes it easy to spot when it's hiding among the rocks. What is it, though? Nymphae? Oh, it's like a nymph kind of thing. We fought this on the ocean, but I wouldn't, like, know what, like, this is not a seal, you know? It's not quite a mermaid, so... Here we have Potty. A creature spawned from a potter's passion. It can slash enemies with foaming blades of water. Hey, when I fight, I must like black out because I don't remember this creature at all, but I've defeated 4 of them. Plessy. A friendly sea dweller that is fond of coming ashore. It is a firm favorite among children. Oh cool, we gotta get one then. Oh, this one's so cute. Kipper. This fishy, sleepy head barely stirs from one end of the year to the other. I want one of these in real life. It's so cute. So here was one of, this was like a quest sea creature we had to fight. This is the Hubber Blubber. Pops up on rare occasions near Casper, filling its belly to bursting with tasty fish. That's very interesting looking. I think we had to fight 2 of these, yeah. Oh, Column. This was like a spontaneous, another quest thing, but it was a Nobilia. A statue brought to life to guard ancient ruins. It only likes to move when there's something to fight. Yeah, we barely made it out alive fighting this. Oh, this one was super cool to fight. I think we died the first time. This jumbo jellyfish lures prey with the hypnotic beauty of its translucent body before swallowing them whole. It's really cool. Mummy's tummy, yeah. It's really, I think it's a really cool design. I mean, all of them are. Oh, Jelly Baby! This is from the, obviously. It's part of one of its attacks. They may be compact, but they refuse to be outdone by their mother in the cruelty stakes. Yeah, man. You gotta kind of take some of these out before you can even finish fighting. Here we have Forest Flutterbee. This creature's green hue allows it to blend into forest foliage, and then observe its enemies unnoticed. Looks like a Luna Moth. Very pretty. And so that was all of the creatures we've seen so far. Now we'll do dangerous places. Okay, we got the Temple of Trout. Oh, that's cleared, alright. Old Smoky. I think we're gonna... Mommy's Tummy. Okay, that's cool, it's cleared. Okay, so there's no treasure chest here then. Right? I forgot if this... I mean, this place was super small. It was a really cool design though, and it was like 2D when you go there. I guess when it has like a slash, it means that there's no treasure to be found there. So that's good to know. That means, man, I'm missing still, like from every place I'm missing. Oh, except for here. Well, I mean, still missing green and purple, but man. Okay, there's no green and purple here. Well, okay, but there's something blue. I can't wait to go back to the other areas and find the treasure that I missed. Oh, wow, we're almost halfway done with the Wizard's Companion. 48%. We've seen 23% of creatures. We've fulfilled 25% of tasks. I'm pretty sure those are like the mini quest. Alchemy completion 3%. Absolutely. Although I will say, no, wait, this is actually after my last playthrough. So, wow, 3%. It's hard. Alchemy is hard. We'll get to that another time. But yeah, I still wonder what these other 2 things are here. But once again, we will go through the book, and I'll stop anytime there's something new to read. So here's our first new spell, rune number 10, Levitate. Float gracefully and glide through the air. This spell releases a wizard from gravity's clutches, allowing him to float weightlessly through the air. Of course, no human can ever escape the ground permanently, and the time and distance for which one can float are determined by one's magical abilities. Many wizards have forgotten this, often with disastrous consequences. We haven't had to use this yet. Wait, did we? Didn't we have to levitate? Horus was supposed to give us this spell, but I think we had to get it from someone else in like the fairy community. I don't remember using this. Of course I don't remember. So here's another new spell, rune number 11, Second Self. We got this from the fairy godmother. Create a foolproof doppelganger of yourself. You have no doubt wondered, as many wizards have, how much better life would be if you had another self to use as you saw fit. Master the spell and you need wonder no more. Be aware, however, that manipulating a second self is extremely draining, and that even the most powerful wizards are incapable of doing it for very long. This is like Naruto. What does he do? Like shadow something? Shadow jutsu? I'm like super new to Naruto, but like that's like what this is. We have Vanish. Become invisible and disappear into the shadows. Using Vanish renders a wizard invisible to the eye. Furthermore, it also removes every trace of his presence and even conceals his smell, making it utterly impossible for anyone to detect him. Mastering this spell is considered the first step towards wizarding excellence. I'm laughing because this is another, like the Purple Orcas in Black Clover, their leader. I don't remember his name, but he can make himself invisible. And I just think it's so cool, like, I just like that all the things I'm watching right now are connected. Oh, this is my new favorite spell that we just learned. Rune 13, Chart Chest. Uncover troves of hidden treasure. Use the spell to reveal the locations of nearby treasure chests, the contents of which may well prove useful during your wizardly education. These are certain provisions that can only be found in these. There are certain provisions that can only be found in these chests, and coming across a real rarity is by no means unheard of. This is cool. I think it costs like 5 MP, but it doesn't last forever. Like if you use it on the map, like you're out in the world or whatever, it doesn't last forever. Also, if you go into a building, you have to reuse it. So I learned that the hard way. Here's another new spell, Mimic, Rune 18. Perform Mimic. Perform uncanny impersonations upon demand. The wizard who casts the spell gains the ability to speak with any voice he desires, a man's, a woman's, a grandparent's, even a baby's. It is an extremely useful piece of magic, to be sure, but one famous for causing untold confusion, conflict, and, regrettably, a short war. Be careful when using your newfound vocal talents within earshot of unsuspecting humans. I feel like this spell could rarely be used for good. Like, rarely. Here's another one, Loaf of Life, Rune 27. Produce a fresh loaf of bread to ward off hunger? Hunger is a traveling wizard's greatest enemy. It affects one's physical strength as well as one's mental capacity and decision-making powers, often leading to life-threatening situations. Should you find yourself in such a desperate state, you can always rely on the Loaf of Life. Just remember that this spell is only to be used in times of genuine crisis, not merely when you're feeling peckish. What? Is this a usable spell? Because like literally in my last playthrough I was talking about bread. I haven't posted it here yet, but like we're learning alchemy, and you can make a cheeseburger, I think, with bread, a loaf of bread, and a sandwich. And yeah. Anyways, where I'm at now, you can't even buy bread anymore. But can I really use this spell? Rune 32, Open Mind. Peek inside a person's mind and listen to the voices within. There are a variety of reasons why humans decide to close their hearts and conceal their feelings. Should you wish to learn more about such people, this spell may be your only recourse. Mercifully, Open Mind does not wrench open people's hearts. Instead, it brings you closer to them, attunes you to their feelings, and lets you listen to their inner dialogue. Naturally, this can leave you rather in their thrall, so take care not to become entranced by the innermost thoughts of the wrong kind of person. Also, this is like kind of violation of privacy. I don't really... Rune 35, Shapeshift. We got a ton of new spells. Change your appearance to become a perfect copy of another being. An extremely powerful spell that allows the caster to adopt all the characteristics of another living thing, from the mannerisms of a wizard to the flying ability of a winged beast. Heading out into the field and studying creatures in their natural habitats will increase the number of alternative forms you can adopt. This combined with the mimic spell, trouble, absolute trouble. I wonder, man, I don't want to spoil anything because now I realize that I'm caught up, but I haven't posted it to YouTube yet, so I won't say anything. Okay, shrink. Rune 36. Reduce your body to a fraction of its size. Oh, I want to use this spell so bad. Though rarely acknowledged, the size of a wizard's body can sometimes limit the options that are available to him. The spell makes the caster small enough to fit into someone's pocket, allowing one to slip in and out of mouse holes and explore the world of the miniature. Simply drawing the rune again reverses the spell's effect. A fact to remember in the presence of cats. Oh, I hope that we get to use these spells. I mean, honestly, of course, I hope we get to use like every single spell in this book. Because what's the point? Oh, werecat. Rune 37. Become a cat and experience life as a feline. This spell turns you into a cat, allowing you to converse freely with fellow felines everywhere. You could just talk to them using nature's tongue, of course, but they are more likely to speak from the heart when conversing with their own kind. In any case, fully immersing yourself in another mode of life is an invaluable experience for any wizard. If I turned myself into a cat, I would not turn back. Where fish? Same with fish. If I turned myself into a fish, I would not turn back. Rune 38. Become a fish and discover the joys of the life aquatic. The spell turns the caster into a fish and grants the ability to converse with other aquatic creatures. The difficulties of breathing underwater have meant that nature's tongue has never been a practicable method of communicating with fish. Ah, yeah, making the spell your only real option if you wish to gain a deeper understanding of life beneath the water's surface. I would not turn back. Some claim that fish have a clearer view of the world than those who dwell on land, but clarity should not be confused with wisdom. Okay. Alright, that's all the spells, new spells that I think we've gotten so far. Eventually I feel like I'm gonna maybe read some twice, but I'm pretty sure those are all the new ones. It's hard to remember sometimes. So like I said with alchemy, every now and then we get a new recipe, and it actually goes to like when you go to use alchemy, it'll like show up like, oh, you know, recipes you know, and you would think that every single recipe in the book we have would be in there, but it's not. And you have no idea how convenient it would be if literally the recipes that are right in front of our face were at the actual place you do your like alchemy, but it's not like that for whatever reason. But when people give you recipes like out in the world, then it goes into the book. I don't know. It's confusing. Anyways, like I said, we're 3% deep in this. I mostly make food so far. That's all I've tried to make, because I mean, the one thing, it's hard to remember what ingredients you have, and then which ingredients and how many ingredients you need. Like, you have to go back and forth with the book. That's why, like, I want to take time to, like, actually write some ones that I use all the time, like strong coffee. Where's that at? Like, strong coffee. Like, that's like, oh, wait. It gives you, like, 100 MP or something, I don't know. But, it's expensive to buy. So, like, I try to remember like what I need to make that or whatever. And like I said, I just learned how to make a cheeseburger. I used the only glow shrimp I had to make that. But yeah, alchemy's probably one of the hardest parts of this game so far. No. So I thought I'd read just the sections of like the types of creatures we can encounter. I'm not gonna read through every creature or most of them, none of them, because you know, we read the creatures compendium or whatever. But we have bestiae, I think that's how you say that word. A common sight in grasslands the world over, bestiae are some of Mother Nature's toughest warriors. Bestiae are swift, powerful creatures that generally live on grassy plains and other such flat lands. They tend not to use weapons, preferring instead to attack with their teeth, claws, and nails. Though naturally aggressive, they can be rendered amenable with cold treats, ice cream being a particular favorite. Oh, okay. Alright, legendary beast. The great stag of the grove. A roaring red stag that protects its bountiful forest home. Didn't we fight something like that? This proud beast is usually found near the spring and golden grove. It didn't quite look like that, but though its antlers change appearance on a regular basis, it is the same stag that has guarded the forest since time immemorial. Its mighty roar is used both for summoning the forest beast and for attacking enemies directly. Oh, we fought that. So here's some bestiae. Let's just skip through them. There's no spoilers. Aquatica. Oh yeah, this is him. Gladiator. He's the stag. Look at him though. He's got great antlers, great character design. A towering forest guardian who uses its fearsome might to punish those who would sully its woodland home. Is this the same as reading the Wizard's Compendium? The gladiator's low roar can be heard throughout Golden Grove, summoning other creatures to help repel it. Affinity Storm X. What does that mean? Sign unknown. The great beast swings its sword in a mighty arc, causing untold damage to all who stand within reach. So here we have Aquatica. Fearsome creatures that lurk in the darkness of the depths. Aquatica thrive wherever there is plenty of moisture, meaning seas, lakes, and even humid swamps. Their ability to move freely in water gives them an advantage over most travelers, so take great care when journeying through the aforementioned habitats. Creatures of this genus prefer pies over other types of trees, and beasts prefer ice cream. Water things prefer pie. Who knew? Tentacles from the deep. Oh, is this about the jellyfish? I mean, because technically jellyfish, those are tentacles, right? The tendrils, are those tentacles? I don't actually know. Somebody find that out for me. Tentacles from the deep. A monster that appears wherever there's a rainbow. The jellyfish in this game is rainbow. I don't know. Even the youngest children in Castaway Cove are familiar with the legend of this sea monster. Supposedly, a rainbow reveals itself to night fishermen out at sea, and when they paddle out to investigate its origin, their boat is gripped by giant tentacles and dragged down to the depths. The legend goes on to specify that should anyone manage to escape the tentacles, they will be overcome instead by dazzling lights which arise from the seabed. Note that the consequent absence of survivors makes this legend difficult to verify. Yeah, I love that. Here's the royal jelly. So cool. I love that animation. That is the coolest thing. An enormous gelatinous sea creature whose transparent flesh reveals a hypnotic array of colorfully flashing innards. Enemies that enter its territory are entranced by its beauty, but soon find themselves wrapped in its tentacles. Tentacles! Yeah, being lifted towards its gaping mouth. It is tentacles. That's what I thought. The beast builds up an enormous electrical charge and then releases in it a blast that sends its prey entire body into spasms. Yeah, he was tough. I'm gonna read more of the creature ones later as we progress, because I just don't want to spoil any guardian fights just yet, but we did read the ones that we have for sure done. I'm sure I skipped over some that we have done too, but it'll be fine. We'll get to those. So we have a new tale of wonder, the third tale, the fairy who wouldn't stop crying, the Terry Fairy. Oh, you know what's interesting? What's his name? Mr. Drippy, this is a spoiler, sort of. He just learned something called Tidy Tears. I don't know what it is yet, but he just learned this. So I wonder, Tidy Tears, he's a fairy. This is about a fairy crying. Okay. Sit tight, boys and girls. I've got a story to tell you. A fairy tale, if you like. Fairies like me used to be a 10 a penny, see? But you'd be hard-pressed to find one these days. Always on the move we are. Anyway, this story's about a very special fairy. And while it all happened a long, long time ago, the fairy's still going strong today. Or so I hope, anyway. Right then, let's get cracking, ain't it? Oh gosh. The story's about a little fairy who wouldn't stop crying. Sobbing he was, day and night. Now, us fairies are hell of impressionable, especially when we're little. We learn all sorts of tidy tricks from other fairies, but we can pick up bad habits just as easy. I don't know whose miserable mug this poor dab saw when he first popped out into the world, but it must have been proper tragic, because the first thing he ever did in his life was cry. I love that this was written by a fairy. And then he kept on crying. Now, it's not like this fairy wanted to be spouting tears all the time. He just couldn't help himself. Every time it got dark, he'd well up. Like blinking clockwork he was. What's more, young fairies can be hell of a cruel. And this little cry fairy got ribbed something terrible. All of which just made him want to cry even more, of course. This fairy sounds like me. The Puddle of Tears. One day, a traveling wizard happened to spot this fairy standing next to a puddle of tears. He was proper knackered, this wizard, hell of a thirsty. So what he did was, he took a drink from the puddle, ain't it? There's lovely, he thought, and felt 10 times better straight away. I wonder, didn't we just read a story like this where another guy was drinking from a fountain or something, so that it made him want to work or something. Gave him energy. I can't remember what it did. Anyways, then off he went with a spring in his step, and he got on with his wizardly work. A bit later, when everything was done, he decided to go back and thank the fairy for the tears he drank. Oh, he was drinking the... Oh yeah, puddle of tears, I said that. But when he came back, the puddle was even bigger than before. "Oh, fairy," he said in his grand old voice, "why do you cry so much? I've been gone 3 days and still you weep." What? Oh, there. I was like, what happened to the rest of the story? "Sob," said the fairy. "Scared I am, like. Scared of the dark, and I don't know what to do about it." After a few more sobs, he went on, "And everyone makes fun of me. Good for nothing I am. Life's rubbish. That's sad. I'm not afraid of the dark, I don't think. Not really." And with that, not to make me cry, and with that, he went back to sobbing. "I see," said the wise old wizard, stroking his big white beard. "Perhaps a lantern is what you need." Oh my gosh! Is this about Mr. Drippy? Because I swear he's the only fairy with a lantern like on his nose, or I don't know how it's hanging on. Oh, it's because he's so scared of the dark. Like literally no other fairy had that. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's cute and sad. That's why he has it. That's like a deep dark secret we don't like know. He never told us that. So he whips this tiny lantern out of his cloak and plonks it on the end of the fairy's nose, right? Now, the light from the lantern made the fairy blink like mad, but it didn't half cheer him up. And sure enough, it didn't half cheer him up. And sure enough, he stopped crying. Felt like he'd been born again, he did. "You see, little fairy," said the wizard, "you shall never be in the dark again, no matter where you go." That is so sweet. I'm getting chills. I'm not scared anymore," the fairy gasped, cracking the first smile of his whole entire life. "And you are no longer good for nothing either," laughed the wizard. "That smile of yours will bring comfort to a great many people. Come with me, and I shall show you." So the fairy packed up his dabs in a little bag and went off with the wizard. They had some pretty hair-raising adventures and all, but the fairy never once got scared. He had the lantern on the end of his nose, see? And even after he parted ways with the kindly wizard, he never cried again, and the light in his nose is still shining to this day. Have a look around you, like. He might be right nearby. Well, what do you say? Proper tidy tale, wasn't it? I bet you got a tear in your eye now. Oh, that is really cute. That was my favorite story so far. There's not even like a message, like, you know, like an Aesop's fable type of thing, but I really like that story. Okay, the 5th tale, The Boy Who Would Be God, the wizard who controlled the clouds. There once was a boy wizard who was endowed with a great deal of magical ability. No sooner was he able to walk than he could cast spells no other wizard could, controlling the clouds above and making great seas and mighty mountains move at will. In truth, such feats did the boy more honor than he deserved, for he had not practiced any more diligently than other wizards. He just got that juice. His talents were innate, and had been with him since birth. The boy, however, grew up quite certain that he had been blessed by the gods, and came to believe that his rightful place was among them, in heaven itself. No sooner had the thought crossed his mind than the boy became desirous to make it an immediate reality. Boys who are born with such exceptional powers are seldom accustomed to waiting. I can feel that. It's like being born into money. You know, some people don't understand hard work, but whatever. A trial from the gods. The boy made for Jabbar al-Duncan, the highest mountain in all the world, who climbed to its summit, reasoning that the gods would hear him more clearly if he were closer to heaven. "Gods, I beseech you to listen. I am the most powerful wizard in this world." He should have fact-checked that first before making that statement. Okay, world's pretty big. "Verily, no man alive is my equal, and thus I believe that my place is in heaven with you. I wish for you to consider me one of your own." The heavens responded with an enormous thunderclap. The boy wizard's insolence had roused the passion of the gods. The thunder was followed by a bolt of lightning, aimed directly at the boy. But the boy was ready. With a simple wave of his wand, he swatted the lightning away. Okay, fighting back. "Do you see?" he cried to the gods with glee. "Do you see how powerful I am?" At length a voice responded from the heavens. "Boy, if you truly believe yourself to be as powerful as a god, then you may prove it by taking this trial. Overcome it, and your wish shall be granted." The boy leaped with great joy upon hearing these words, believing as he did that no trial was beyond his powers. Suddenly, however, everything became quite dark. The boy had no idea where he was. Indeed, his hand could not be seen in front of his face. The voice spoke once more. "Boy, This is the world of darkness. Your task is to tolerate it for 8 days. That's not easy for a lot of people. Like, that solitary confinement will get you. So it is simply a matter of waiting, thought the boy, relieved. That shall not prove difficult. But the voice went on. There is a door in front of you, boy. Raise your hand and you shall feel it. On the other side of this door is the world of light, where all godly knowledge resides. Enter and you shall become one of us. The door, however, must not be opened until 8 days have passed. I mean, I think the hardest part in the situation, I'm assuming, like, how's he gonna keep track of time? I don't know. With that, the voice fell silent, and all was quiet once more. The boy reached out his hand in front of him. Though he could not see it, the door was there, just as the voice had said. I shall open that door, the boy said decisively. I shall wait a full 8 days, and then I shall become a god, and all will be revealed to me. "7 days of darkness. At first, the boy could do nothing but sit and contemplate his current plight. It was not long, however, before his mind started conjuring all sorts of thoughts. What wonders awaited him when he became one of the gods? What manner of place was the heaven that the gods called home? Oh, I thought it was going to be different kind of thoughts, because I just think my own head. How would he treat his human minions once he was one of their gods? And so it went on. He found himself increasingly agitated, anxious to see what awaited him once he opened the door to the world of light. He kept his resolve for 6 days and 6 nights, but on the 7th day, the boy was overcome by curiosity. And one more day, I shall become a god, thought the boy. Surely it is of no consequence if I open the door a little early. Nah, dude, it is of consequence. Are you, like, people like this don't make any sense to me. You're gonna wait 1 day and then decide to, like, just basically give up? He reached for the door once more and traced its even surface. Eventually, his hand came across a small protrusion which felt like the cover of a keyhole. Timidly, the boy lifted it and looked through to the other side. A blaze of blinding light flooded through the keyhole, knocking the boy a full cubit backwards. It was incredibly bright, and yet he simply could not close his eyes. The world on the other side of the door was beyond the boy's human imagination. Its scale and beauty seemed to pierce his very soul. The world of the gods. The thought alone made the boy shiver, but then as he did so, he was plunged into darkness once more. You're probably going to be blind forever now. The ever-wondering eye. The boy had failed the trial, yet he was still allowed to enter heaven and become one of the gods, for they acknowledged his abilities and showed compassion toward him. Are you kidding me? What was the lesson? They could not, however, show the same compassion toward his eye, the one that had peered at the world of light. The eye was condemned to wander, disembodied through the skies for all eternity. It's just one eye. The boy wizard's eye traverses the sky to this day, soaring above the birds, gazing down upon the world below. It can never hope to soar as high as the heaven where the gods reside, however. Indeed, it is trapped between the human world and the world of the gods forever. Occasionally, when it is overwhelmed with extreme dissatisfaction, the eye swoops down close to the earth's surface, bringing a devastating whirlwind in its wake. These howling gales are known to have destroyed cities and forests and are rightly feared by ordinary humans. And so, the consequences of the boy wizard's folly are still being felt. This sucks! This affects human beings more than I feel like it affects him. He's still a god. He's in heaven or whatever. This story sucks. Oh, we got a new picture. I like how this art kind of looks kind of like Aztec art, kind of. That's what I think. Okay, so we have this guy. He's healing someone, maybe resurrecting. This person's doing something with animals, maybe whipping them up in a windstorm or whatever. Not quite sure what's happening here, but this is another wizard. He's got a staff. This person has a staff too, but I'm not sure what that is. There's this thing. There's like a throne thing. Some stuff happening. Oh, there's the eye. I think that's the god's eye right there. This person's kneeling. They're all doing magic. Oh, there's a bunch of eyes in the sky. And yeah, looks like some kind of dragon they're fighting. Not sure. Interesting. Okay, so those are all the Tales of Wonders. Let's see if we have any new regions of the world. We did go to Shipwreck Shore, kinda. We drove past it on our boat. Bordering an airy stretch of water known as the ship's graveyard, countless vessels have met their end off the shipwreck shore. Against our reason, foolhardy sailors continue to flock there in search of sunken treasure. their ships invariably meeting with the same fate as their predecessors. A cruel cycle indeed. Though some survivors have reported seeing a strange light just before their ships were dragged beneath the waves, no one has been able to discover its source. The sages agree that searching for it would be a regrettable waste of a wizard's time in life. Tamya, we just got here. Located to the east of the Summerlands, Automnia's harsh terrain is broadly divided between Billy Goat's Bluff in the north and the Pig Iron Plain in the south. Automnia was once home to several rival kingdoms, but of them, only the southern state of Hamlin could claim to be more than a shadow of its former self. We've only been to Hamlin so far, so I don't know. I don't know what to expect yet. It's dark over there, at least where we are. The sun is like super dark. Alright, I don't want to read these just because we haven't been to them yet. I won't be surprised. Alright, we have been to Hamlin. We're currently there right now. Seat of scientific and magical learning. Hamlin is the largest city in Automnia. Is it? It's huge, actually, just walking around there. I know I haven't posted that playthrough yet, but you'll see it soon. Hamlin is the largest city in Automnia and the capital of what is often called the Pig Iron Empire. It is a popular destination for the less magically minded, as its modern facilities make it an easy place for non-wizards to live. The city is continuously being improved, with the latest development being a system of tracks that allow whole buildings to be moved around via the power of steam. The main complaint voiced by visitors to Hamlin is that all the industry and machinery produces a thick smog that sits heavily in the lungs. Oh yeah, you know, I never thought of that, because this place, Hamlin, is like a steampunk kind of city, which is pretty cool, because steampunk is cool, I think. But yeah, it's okay. I didn't even think of all the smog from like all the electronical stuff, but that makes sense. Okay, essential information. The Emperor of Hamlin. We haven't met any leaders of Hamlin yet, just seen like a parade. Climate, breezy and chilly, being situated on a high plateau. It's kind of interesting because when you get to Hamlin, it's like in a valley, like it looks like it's surrounded by mountains. You wouldn't think it'd be chilly or breezy. It's not like on a cliff. The delicacies are black truffles, which I've been hearing about. Character, inquisitive and energetic, but rather cold and indifferent at first. Very true. Festivals, the royal procession. We just saw that, didn't we? Local sports, competitive truffling. I'm not sure what that is. Common march of progress. The citizens of Hamlin are united both by their inquisitive natures and their desire to support and protect their empire. As a result, large-scale scientific military projects are quite normal. Scientific? Such projects are always kept top secret, of course, but rumors suggest that Hamlin's latest development, the Porco Grosso tank, is several leagues ahead of any weapon in the other nation's respective arsenals. I feel like we read that somewhere in here before. They're responsible for that, the Porco Grosso. Local delicacies, black truffles. This extremely rare variety of edible fungus has a wonderful aroma and is said to be served to the emperor as an accompaniment to every meal. That's probably super expensive. Hamlin at its best, the royal procession. This procession is a traditional event that sees the emperor make his way through the streets of Hamlin. It is also an opportunity for the emperor to show off its very latest technological advances. Symbols of Hamlin. The pig. Surprising as it may seem to those who've visited modern-day Hamlin, the city was once known for large-scale pig rearing. Oh, okay. Indeed, pigs could be credited for Hamlin's present prosperity, having been responsible for rooting out the black truffles which account for the empire's wealth. Oh yeah, I forget pigs can do stuff like that. Like, they have strong snouts. They can, like, smell things and, like, get things out the ground. Interestingly, Hamlin pig is now a term of abuse applied to those who fixate upon work to the detriment of their parents. What? Scant reward for all the pig's labors. Is it a term of abuse? Wait, implied to those who fixate upon work? Oh, so like if you're like constantly working all the time, they call you a Hamlin pig? Okay. I would take that as a form of abuse too. Oh, Tahiti! This is where the fairies live. A small isolated island covered in a thick forest, untouched by human hand. Not even the most adventurous of the fishermen who work nearby have dared enter the forest, and very few people know what secrets it contains. The fairy ground! Hidden away inside the forest is the village home of the fairies. The village is overlooked by a mountain that's so large its summit is wrapped in cloud. The fairy ground. They made it look all creepy, but the fairground is like one of the coolest places we've been to so far. A village deep within the forest. The fairground is a curious village hidden deep within the forest at the center of Tahiti. It is home to all manner of fairies who light up the dark forest with their constant laughter and grilled cheese snacks. Oh, my people. Grilled cheese? Okay. Essential information. Climate, hot but cool in the shade of the trees. Local delicacies, fairy rarebit. Local character, cheerful and big-hearted, and sarcastic and sassy. Festivals, the Tidy Titters Comedy Festival. The Cavity Club, we've been. A legendary venue where all the great fairy comedians cut their teeth. Comedians have 3 performances a day to show the audience what they are capable of, and hopefully get some laughs in return. The Cavity Club audience are a famously tough crowd, and fairies know that if they can make it here, they can make it anywhere. That's so cute. No, I'm not sure if I read The Lost Continent. I don't think so. This does not look familiar. Okay. We've driven around on our boat, and there's been places where I wasn't able to go to, so let's see. Somewhere in the world, there is said to be an inaccessible landmass, one that is shrouded in a deep fog and thick cloud. Legends claim that this land was once home to a highly prosperous civilization, though such rumors have never been confirmed. No one actually knows how to get to the place, though some claim that the fog clears for one day a year, allowing one to sail towards it. Others say that the eye of the storm will sometimes cast hapless sailors upon its shores. It must be emphasized, however, that these are only rumors. Curious wizards should use their initiative and think of their own methods of clearing away the fog, rather than relying on secondhand hearsay. Mysterious. So that is all that we have today from the Wizard's Companion. Can't wait to get some more pages. If you'd like to watch other Wizard's Companion, they're in the same playlist as my Ni No Kuni playthrough, so check that out. I'll link it below. I hope this was interesting for you as much as it is for me. Thank you for watching. Bye!